PhD. I am so excited to introduce you all to one of my mentors and really good friends, Dr. Hammel. She is the expert on everything music, education, and disabilities, and I don't want to waste any of her time, so yay.
Thank you. That's just a little bit too much, but it was fine. All right, so your assignment was to find the oldest article you could in either music education or music therapy, and then to find the newest article you could, music education or music therapy, that relates to students with differences in disabilities. And I'm really, really excited to see what you found. Okay, so who wants to share the oldest article? Oh, actually, you know what we should do first? Let's just go around the room and I want you to tell me the year of the oldest article you found. Okay, so all you gotta do is say a year. Okay.
Mine was 1999, which probably wasn't the oldest.
1999, it was a good year.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was born
2003, so not
2003.
1971.
1971. Okay, so you got to beat 1971.
1961.
Ooh, all right. Ooh. Yes. I'm sorry. 1999. Again, it was a good year. Yes. 1965. That was a good year. That was the year I was born. All right. Yes. 1973.
1984.
1984.
1956.
Oh, we got another winner. 1956. 1956 going once. All right. Yes.
1982.
1982.
1700. No, I'm kidding.
Get out.
2001.
Okay, you know you win anyway. You win. You win just because you're here. Yeah.
1990.
1990.
1996.
Okay.
2002.
2002.
1999.
1999 was a popular year. All right. No homework for you. Okay.
1990.
1990.
1976.
76.
1946.
Oh. And she doesn't even go here.
No.
Okay. So Nerissa, 1946. Okay. So tell me about, what was this about?
Okay, the title is Measurement of Neurotic Tendency in Negro Students of Music.
Nice. Okay, so we have neurotic. Okay. So what would we say about that philosophy? How would we describe that?
You're asking me,
Yes, ma'am.
how would you describe neurotic?
No, how is what the philosophy of the article?
Oh,
What do you think? What were they going for there? What was hidden underneath the title?
bias.
Okay, what kind of bias?
We're not hearing the conversation back here.
Okay, so what kind of bias are you reading in this article? Biased against?
I would say biased against Negro, but it's not comparing it to non-Negro. So it, but that's the focus for
So we have
some
othered.
particular reason.
So we have othered.
Yes.
So othering by race. Okay, so within the article, what were the perceptions and attitudes? What did you learn that they thought?
It was very upfront. Like it's just kind of, here are the scores of the students, and then here is the scores of this, and here it's how it correlates with X variables. There wasn't a lot of expansion.
Okay, how did they determine the level of neurosicity? It's a word, yeah.
The Otis self-administering test of mental ability.
Okay, and did they only give the test to students of color?
Yes.
Okay, and what did they find?
The mean neurotic scores of male and female students were,
So practice so you know what to say when it's your turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I have bad news. I'm only able to see the first page.
Okay, all right, so we don't know the interventions or the outcomes or that, right? It's okay. Oh, we'll talk about it later. All right. Okay, so 1953? Was that yours?
56.
Oh, 56, sorry. So tell me about yours. What was the title?
Title Music for Children with Cerebral Palsy.
The first word was
Music.
music for children with cerebral palsy.
Yes. Although this title is music, but this article is related to music therapy.
Tell me about it.
Okay. So,
And you can use these as your notes. Up here, like the language they used, the philosophy. I'm going to go up here and, it's hard to read?
yeah.
Okay, so what was the language used? Was there any language used that surprised you?
English.
Can you speak up? Were there any words that surprised you, Chanchi?
I don't know.
That's okay, that's all right. What do you think, why did they conduct this study? What were they looking to learn?
This study tests music effects in these patients.
Mhm.
Cerebral.
And they were referred to patients?
Yes.
Were they in a facility? They lived in a facility?
Yes. Meaning use some music activities focus on improve mental health problem.
Okay, so by engaging in these experiences,
Yes.
they're saying they improved the mental health,
Yes.
right, of the
Yeah.
patients who had cerebral palsy.
Yes.
Great, okay, so what kind of activities, what was happening?
This researchers facilitate some music activities such as rhythm band and music and movement and only listening music.
Okay, all right, did you hear that, Mike? Music and movement? Mike, music and movement, did you hear that? Okay, all right, so we talked about experiencing music. And music and movement. Okay, so I think what you said, Chanchi, is that what? Okay, so I think you said that it improved, that engaging in these musical experiences and music and movement.
Yes, these researchers found that music have positive effects for children with cerebral palsy in their emotion. Yes.
Okay, that's great. What kind of research was that?
This is RCT.
I'm sorry.
RCT, rhythm control.
RCT?
Yes.
Okay.
Rhythm control.
All right.
Rhythm control.
All right, so RCT. And what, so the outcomes it improved, did it say how much it improved?
Yeah. So this research mainly used some question. I remember quantitative.
Quantitative, okay,
Yes. And use some questionnaire, some questions.
okay,
Yeah.
all right. So you feel like it was mixed, maybe a mixed methods?
Yes.
Yes, okay, all right. Da, 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 da. So we had improvement following the intervention. Mixed methods. Okay. If my memory is correct, you would be next, yes?
I believe so.
Okay, all right. So tell me about what you studied.
Yes, so my article was titled Music Therapy and the Cerebral Palsy Child.
There you go. All right.
Yes. As far as language goes, there were a lot of outdated terminology used.
Oh, tell me some.
So, so first, the cerebral palsy child, instead of saying a child with cerebral palsy, they also don't specify which types. They focus on only two main types and only recognize two main types in the article. They actually leave out ataxic or mixed CP. They don't acknowledge it at all.
Okay. Do you know, had those two been identified
I don't
at the
know-
point?
I don't-
That would be fun to look up. Yeah. Okay. All right.
The reason, like the article was stating that the only two that existed were not those, sorry. Spastic or apatoid. So
Yeah.
they also use terminology such as mental retardation
Aha.
instead of intellectual disabilities.
Yep. That was popular. Okay. All right, brilliant friend. What else do you have?
It was kind of more general research about the effect. They labeled music therapy, but there was no specific intervention used. They focused on music, active listening, and the effects of it on the child with using various sorts of music. They use it with other types of therapy, like physiotherapy, and they work on speech, but they don't use any direct intervention.
Are we doing all this at the same time? We're doing speech therapy, physiotherapy, and active listening?
Yeah, it's all listed. And yeah, they put speech therapy. It's like a whole like hot pot of like different.
Hot pot. Good one. Okay. All right. So what kind of philosophy do you think they had in this?
That's a good question.
Okay.
So
What do you think they thought? Completely unscientifically, what do you think they thought?
I think that they had good intentions of really wanting to find a correlation.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that the process was a little just everywhere.
Feels like it.
Yeah, it was a little just
Right.
everywhere. And they do have like a summary. They didn't go over results or anything like that. So the summary kind of goes over how they found that music is able to help the cerebral palsy child with confronting and understanding their problems and their mental development. So that's
Mental health or like cognition?
cognition.
Okay. All right. So improved cognition. And what else did you say? You said something before that.
Improved their motor skills, but they just say physical.
Okay. And motor
And
skills.
also their emotional and social.
And then they threw in a little SEL. Okay. What type of research was this? I know it's hard to tell because it was, a hot mess, you're right.
I guess just like it was.
Mixed
Yeah, I guess
methods?
it's just mixed methods.
Okay.
They don't really use just one.
What'd you say, Dr. Jinsky?
I said before mixed method existed.
Yes.
So
They flew
mixed
into the
method
future.
without any assumptions.
Yeah, without any.
Yes. Or structure. Yeah.
Yeah, it has.
Bad exploratory research.
Okay. Do you have anything else that you learned or you'd like to share about this?
Let me see my notes really quickly so I
Okay.
don't miss anything. No, I think we kind of covered everything.
Okay. They're doing the best with what they knew, what they had. Okay. You're next, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Also, you have the sunflower headband, so yes. Okay.
Thank you.
So tell me about yours.
So my 1971 article was about music therapy, its function in supporting the rehabilitation of the handicapped.
All right. And how did we rehabilitate the handicapped?
So this article was mainly talking about the effects, not really, they didn't really go about saying much about what they did, but how music therapy actually affected them.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start with the language. Their language was also very, outdated.
Mm-hmm.
They used terms like handicapped and deficiencies, kind of like very belittling language
Okay.
that we don't really use today.
I like the way you describe that as belittling. Good. Okay. So we got deficiencies too. We're handicapped and we have deficiencies. All right. What do you think their philosophy was? What do you think they thought about these students or children?
help you. I'm gonna fix it.
Oh, we're gonna fix. Yeah, I've heard that a lot. Yeah. Fixing. Okay, not the I'm fixing to do something, the I'm going to fix you, yes. Okay, all right, did you notice any perceptions or attitudes other than fixing?
It was very, at that time, very disjointed. So it was more like I'm gonna fix you, or I'm going to help you do this, rather than this is happening and we're gonna fix it.
Right, so no agency.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay, great. What did they do? Interventions? How did they fix?
Yes, they used music therapy techniques such as like playing, like using instruments like drums, and like helping them to actually connect with music to help them feel better.
Okay. So more experiential, yes. Okay, and outcomes, were we fixed at the end?
Yes.
Asking for a friend.
A lot of them did have a lot of positive outcomes. They found that music was a way for them to connect with everyone else and not feel so,
Isolated?
yes, isolated.
Yeah. Okay. So we have found some connection. What kind of research do you think this was? What did they do? Do you have their methodology there?
No.
That's okay. That's okay. It was a different time.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else have an article prior to 1971? Yes. What year was yours?
1964. I said 5 earlier, but it's 64.
64. Okay. All right. So tell me.
Okay, the title is Therapeutic Values of Instrumental Performance for Severely Handicapped Children.
Okay. So tell me about this.
So it was somewhat of a case study looking at 2 different participants and their experience with piano training and violin training.
Violin was the other?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So it was a case study, you said, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So 2 students who played violin. All right. What were they really looking for, do you think?
It's very much in the same vein of fixing.
Yes.
It was very much like, look, they can also take part in this activity, and like very like separating the 2 and like very negative. And I was really surprised also by a lot of the language. It was very much like atypical children, referring to them as atypical.
That's actually pretty good for 64.
Okay. And then it also had the cerebral palsied child, talking about the handicapped children again, and then referring at the end that they're getting closer to normal functioning. Yeah.
Okay. We're closer to normal now. Wait till they get a load of me. All right. Thank you. That was brilliant. Okay. Anybody else in the 60s? 70s? Yes. Tell me about the 70s.
It's actually a review of 2 books, and then a review of a conference that happened of a bunch of music educators and
Okay.
What did they say? Special education teachers and music teachers. And
That sounds fun.
Them trying to learn from each other for New York State public education.
Okay.
And it's from the journal Music Therapy, and I was a little frustrated with it because it was they talked about all of the interventions, ideas, everything, blah, 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 but they didn't say what any of them were. But it told me that they talked all about them.
Oh, I'm glad. Okay.
But
That's
they were
good to know.
basically saying there's a need for the 2 sides to communicate with each other.
Right.
And that
Okay.
they were they said The special education teacher is often faced with teaching a subject in which his knowledge is limited, and the music teacher must modify his work to accommodate learning patterns and modes of expression that are quite different from those he observes in his regular classes.
Uh-huh.
Of course, it would only be he who's
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also, quite a bit of language we would not use. I would hope that no one uses today.
Oh, I want to hear it.
Just like a lot of the R word,
Uh-huh.
around. I don't even like to say it, to be honest. But
No, I've just been writing R.
yeah.
Yeah.
Educatable mentally,
That part?
and then trainable
Yes. Yes. Right.
as two different things, and then emotionally disturbed.
Yes.
So
Yep. Okay, well, now you're just bragging, Steve. All right. Yeah, I really wasn't, I know. Okay, fantastic. Anything else you want to share about the article?
they sort of just end by saying it was about a book called The Role of Music, and it says this is the best source for music therapists working with handicapped children.
Okay,
So,
all right, thank you. Anybody else in the 70s? 70s going once? All right, 80s. Anybody in an article in the 80s? It was a wild time. Things started rolling in the 80s. All right, so.
So I actually chose an article from the Music Educators Journal.
Uh-huh.
So it was 1982. The title of this is Music for Every Child, Education of Handicapped Learners.
Yes.
And this is basically an article that's written for K-12 music educators.
Who's the author?
It is, I want to make sure I get the name right, Keith Thompson.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So during this time,
He was a biggie.
Yeah, during this time, some laws had been passed regarding the inclusion of students, and our Music Education National Organization, which was called MENC, it's now called NAFME,
Right.
had created a task force and partnered with music therapy to create some guidelines. And so I was drawn to a particular section that I would love to read.
Yes, please.
So anyway, there aren't really recommended interventions, as this is not really a scientifically based paper.
Correct.
But just a couple of statements in here. We, teachers, cannot be experts in music and experts in mental retardation, learning disabilities, emotional disorders, sensory deficiencies, or any other handicapping conditions.
Uh-huh.
Our expertise is in designing experience for bullet points of, here's 3 tips that music educators can do. And the first one is develop confidence. And so anyway, just a brief paragraph, if you all indulge me, that I thought was really impactful. Music educators have many fears about working with handicapped students. We fear we will not be able to control them in class, that we may embarrass them by asking them to do something beyond their capabilities. We fear that letting them in quotes, will decrease the musical quality of our performances.
That part, yes.
Or that by assuming responsibility for handicapped students, we will be further taxing the limits of our time and energy. Most of all, we fear of our own reaction to people who are noticeably different. A study by Stewart and Gilbert verifies that music educators are less comfortable in interacting, less willing to work professionally with individuals whose musical behaviors are different from those considered to be normal students.
Ooh, we get to write another word down. That was awesome. Thank you. So that's where we were in the 80s. We meant well, as usual. All right, more 80s? Okay, the roaring 90s. Who's got a 90s? Yes.
It's not a research per se, but a change in attitude. So that's what caught my attention, even though the vocabulary is still problematic. But in the 90s, we see a shift of terms like special learners. and special needs, special whatever, right? It's straying away from retardation and limitations and such. And again, that's progress, huge progress made. But with that language, it's still problematic about the whole isolation of you are not one of us and you need special accommodations of such. But with this though, the article was basically technology for teaching, music technology for special learners. And so it's one of its earliest forms of trying to find resources to fix a problem. Still wasn't inclusion so much, so here's a computer keyboard that can help you fix an issue so they can participate. So it's still in a mentality of making things better, but not really enhancing the experience of the students with disabilities, but rather.
So you don't think the technology was enhancing the,
technology
was it enhancing the student experience?
No, it was just so that they can participate in a way, that they can be involved, but there's still no real application on how this technology can be implemented in a meaningful way per se. Like, you know, oh, for students with vision loss, there's a Braille writer. Okay, so what do we do with that? How do you incorporate that Brailler into the music making? Or there's mouse with a little ball that ages me too, with a little roller ball. And you can do movements with the mouse, but it doesn't really, you know, there's limitations with the technology as well. I do acknowledge that. So I'm not mad about that, but it's more like it's very limited in its understanding of how we take today's tech and how to embed that into instruction for all, and not just a particular child that has a specific need and such.
Yes.
So this was targeted for the specific need and not the classroom as a whole just yet.
Yes.
That's
And at that, and during this time of the Roaring 90s, I had my own daughter who used a typer in school because of her severe dysgraphia. And that was the technology that was available. And she would type, and then the teacher would print. So instead of getting a sentence, the teacher would get a paragraph. So I think in that time, we really started to open the doors for students by giving them tools so that they could communicate, which was, it was a big deal. It was a big communication difference for my daughter. So, okay, thank you. Another Roaring 90s. Yes.
92. So the article was called, here we go, Effects of Music Therapy on Group of Profoundly Mentally Handicapped Adults.
Okay.
So mentally handicapped is the new language, I guess.
So we're not R-ing, we're H-ing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
12 participants. They had music therapy versus, they called it play, just play activities. So that was interesting too, because it included like art, it included like games, like board games and stuff like that. And they compared the 20 weeks of music therapy versus the play.
Yeah.
As what they talked about. Again, they talked about them as being limited social integration, inconsistent, like their development was inconsistent and going back and forth.
Inconsistent within themselves or inconsistent within the group?
Inconsistent, I guess, like in comparison to another group of people. Like,
I see. Okay. The
That's-
normal kids. Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And these are adults. Some
Oh,
were
right, adults.
physically disabled, some were able to walk, but most of them were like wheelchair bound as well.
Did they use that phrase too?
Wheelchair bound.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And then one using walking frame.
Okay. Oh, you can keep talking.
Encouraged, so a lot of the language is now like encouraging to participate. Things were talked about as activities versus, so there was some improvised and pre-composed music that was used in the music therapy sessions, and then in the play it was like using bricks and like child toys with them, not really
Adult.
like adult. Yeah. So
Fantastic. Can you tell what type of research that was? Okay. Can you tell if it was qualitative or quantitative?
It was qualitative. I mean, they got, they looked at it, yeah, it was qualitative, not quantitative.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. Thank you. 90s? 90s going once? Oh, there you go.
Mine was from 96.
Okay.
Title of this article is The Effect of Instruction on Music Educators' Attitudes Towards Students with Disabilities. So I thought it was interesting that it was, yeah, exactly, it goes more into
Mm-hmm.
the vocabulary and how people are seeing them. So they provided a 7-week course for graduate music education students,
Okay.
and they had them rate like how comfortable they were with teaching certain students with disabilities before and then after. And when they described some of the students they'd worked with before, they used words like severely multiply impaired. They
Ooh.
used mental retardation as well. They used trainably mentally impaired.
Yeah, the idea that like they can make progress and become, well, they also said on here normal intelligence,
Hmm.
or like their spectrum. It said, frequent behavioral outbursts. Yeah. So they provided this program, and afterwards, so they had them rate
These three statements. One was like, I feel comfortable working with people with disabilities. I feel willing to work with people with disabilities, and I feel capable of working with people with disabilities. And on the third one, feeling capable, they rated the highest, but even after the program, they rated the first two lower. They were less comfortable after they had the education around it because they understood more. They understood that they understood more.
Yeah. I think sometimes more also that's to the shame cycle
Yeah.
of what did I do before I knew better.
Yeah.
Okay. Well done. Anything else you want to share about it?
No, I just thought there really was quite a spectrum of language for 96. I guess a lot of things were changing in music therapy. The program, the instructors were, there was one music teacher, one music therapist, and then a bunch of clinicians that worked with them, like an intensive program.
All right. So, yes, dear.
I wanted just to add something about the goals of what they were looking at in mind. They were talking, like the way that they described this, reducing unacceptable behaviors was the goal.
Did they list them? Because I like to try them today.
They
What are the
didn't say,
unacceptable
like,
behaviors?
Yeah, screaming, hitting, yeah, I think those were some of the ones.
Okay. Well, are we going to fix those behaviors and make them normal, or what's going to happen now?
Well, it's just
Okay. All right. So let's flip. Let's see who found the most recent article. 2025? 24? Nerissa, what'd you get?
Erica Knapp, I want to be a better person and a better teacher, exploring constructs of race and disability in music educator collaborative teacher study group.
That's a great one.
Nerissa, can you repeat that?
Yes.
And what year?
2025. I want to be a better person and a better teacher, exploring the constructs of race and disability in a music educator collaborative teacher study.
Yep. That was in the NAFME news this week. Yeah. All right, keep going.
So it was a collective case study of public school teachers who met together to kind of discuss what was going on in their classrooms with their students with disabilities and from various racial backgrounds. And then the researcher also did some interviews, and the participants found that their participation in this group helped inform them of ways that racism and ableism operated in their teaching and their personal lives.
Okay. Any language you noticed? I hear racism, I hear ableism.
Dis/ability,
Ah, yes.
so kind of reframing that as something that goes together, but not viewing the dis part as a necessary part of considering ability, just
Okay.
viewing it more as a range rather than
Okay.
exclusively a negative.
All right. Thank you. Okay, that was 25. Any other 25s? 24? Hi, what was your 24?
Mine, oh hang on, I just went blank.
Oh, that
It
always,
was disability. Oh my gosh, why did it just go blank? I'm so sorry. Let me open my files again. Disability in music therapy education and clinical training. it kind of just goes into the discussion of disabilities and ableism that like students within the field and like students just in music in general face. How sometimes a lot of their like a lot of the behaviors kind of get labeled as you being this way because you have a disability. This
Yeah.
essay was a little bit more opinion based. They do go into like research and how like facing like limited support and you know how music therapists should take into account like the vocabulary they use and like how they treat their clients and yeah.
Okay. That's good. Anything else you want to say about it?
That was kind of it. Just
Okay.
yeah.
Thank
sorry.
you. No, sorry. You're awesome. All right. Any more 24s? 24 friend. All right.
So this one was about it says looking forward, music, disability, and inclusion.
Mm-hmm.
So completely updated from my last one.
Yes.
Here we start seeing a lot more positive language. So instead of impairments and really negative language, we start to have a lot more of an inclusion. The study was it was mainly just kind of the same of like saying this is how we view these.
Okay, good for you. Yeah, so it wasn't a study. What was it then?
So it was kind of more opinion based.
It's an opinion. Okay.
And looking at how we kind of want to include
Mm-hmm.
and how music therapy has now affected these individuals.
Okay.
So
So it's kind of a narrative.
yes,
Okay. And were there references at the end?
yes.
Okay. And did yours have references at the end too?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Anything else about it?
I just thought it was really refreshing to see like the two sides from going from 1971 to like 2024.
Yes.
The different language now that we're using. Also, in my last one, the goals were kind of improving, like wanting to improve their impairments.
Mhm.
And now the goals are like supporting, like the patients are now involved in their own.
Oh, so we're not as broken as we were in 1971.
Yes.
I'm so glad I was about to go buy some, super glue. Okay. All right. Thank you. Great job. 24? 23? 22? Hi. Yes.
There was a systematic review of the literature.
Okay.
It's called Music-Based Interventions for People with Profound and Multiple Learning Disabilities.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was a literature review. It talked about, got some highlights. Oh my goodness, it's the same one.
Oh, good. Then you can both talk about it. That's great. It's a twofer.
Yeah. Do you want to go first? I don't know, I wrote some notes. But.
Okay. Well, one thing I really appreciate about that is they're talking about how learning disabilities can really be serious difference in somebody's lives and in the way their cognition works. I think sometimes people think of learning disabilities as, just a little light sprinkle on top of the ice cream. Yeah. All right. Keep going.
And they talk about the biopsychosocial model of disability.
Love it.
And then they go through, different studies that have been done. They said the aims were to identify peer-reviewed studies, describe the characteristics of the musical activity for people with profound and multiple learning disabilities,
Mhm.
Identify gaps within the research. So then they say about the biopsychosocial, and then they said like what terms they were looking for.
Okay. What are some of the gaps? That sounds interesting.
Results. Well, also in the results of this one, they also describe the participants as having profound intellectual disability.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what,
Okay.
the gaps.
You want to tap in?
Yeah, Yvonne.
Okay.
Oh, I found. No, you go first.
You go ahead.
No.
I don't really know, actually.
You could rock, paper, scissors for it. It's fine.
Because honestly, I appreciate the result for this study, but overall the data is just too small.
Because it only put through ProQuest and ERIC. Start from like 36-ish studies and then just like, following those criteria as they set.
And calling
It goes
36 a
down to
meta.
6.
Right.
Like only 6 studies.
Oh.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
you know.
Okay. That was good. Good
Yeah, it
catch.
says data
Good for you.
collected in all studies relied heavily on the facilitator and/or researcher interpreting and categorizing observable behaviors, and that it said the study highlighted a need to increase the quantity and quality of research. So,
Those are good ideas. Okay. Thank you. So let's think about your contributions, what you had and what you heard and what we put on the board. And now think about your own future research agenda. Where are we going? So let's say 40 years from now, where do you think we'll be? Where will the fields of music education and music therapy be? This is just Magic Land, open the box and pretend, okay? All right, where do you think we'll be? So here's where we've come since 40 what?
46.
Yeah, to here. Where do you think, where are we going? What will people be studying? What would you like to study? What's left? Magic Toy Box answers? Yes.
Yes, I think with any luck, not necessarily research-based, but instead of seeing like education and then special education or disabilities on top of it, it'll just be seen in parallel, no matter what the ratios to the quantity is.
Yeah.
And they'll just be seen as types of education that are important for everyone to understand.
So not so much etiology and incidence,
Yeah.
and more looking at the person. So social model rather than the medical model, okay? All right. What else? Where are we going? I would sing Where Do I Go From Here, but only 5 people would know what that song is. So, hey.
I found a new article, a lot of new article mainly focus on evidence-based. So in the last century, I reviewed some article. So all the article is about such as abstract emotion benefits.
Yes.
This research just described in subjective, just focus on quantitative study. And now I found a lot of articles focus on evidence-based.
Yeah. Brilliant. Yes. So the way in which we conduct research has already grown. So let's think about that for a minute. So when we're thinking about what people thought research was in 1940s and our standards for research in the 2000s, what's different? You knew because you told me as you politely slammed those articles, right? What do you see? What are the differences? What is evidence-based? And why are we doing that now? And why didn't we do it before?
Oh, lots of reasons. First of all,
Yeah.
one thing that
yes, sir.
strikes me is we're talking about an expansion of diversity in education. Cultural diversity, learning diversity, neural diversity, physical characteristic diversity, everything's different. And we've seen the vocabulary change over the years from a deficit to accommodations to inclusion, or as some teachers would say at the time, intrusion.
I haven't heard that. That's awesome. Okay.
And the idea is, in the future, I think, think about the musics we use. It was back in the old Potsdam, SUNY Potsdam days, where it was classical training to be an orchestra musician or an opera singer. And that's what was the basis of music education. Now we have modern band, now we have jazz, now we have hip hop, and we have all these different things that are happening musically that are different. Which means it's harder for us because there's more for us to know, and a lot of stuff we don't know. some of the early stuff that they were doing, which seemed naive to us, wasn't naive to them. They were clueless. So we go from clueless to being having some clues, and we're going to develop more clues. And we're going to understand things better.
Oh, you don't have to stop, genius. Okay.
So the idea here, I think of Kendall Grandin. Okay, and something she said in one of her books. She's a person with autism who is a behavioral animal scientist at Colorado State, and she thinks of things differently. She thinks in pictures. So the whole idea here was, she said, I'm different, but not less.
Correct.
So we need to, we're shifting, so that the differences that we have are not deficits.
Right.
They're just frickin' differences.
Yes. Yeah. And as a person who is highly neurodivergent, who has many disabilities myself, physical disabilities, and hearing loss. Of course, Eddie would say acquired hearing loss, but a hearing loss is a hearing loss. So yes, I would love to have the science become more specific, and for us to move from thinking that I need to be fixed. I'm so happy with who I am, right?
An example, each of these areas that's different has pluses and minuses. A study I did with my wife, the neuropsychologist, where we looked at people with chronesthesia. They had ADHD symptoms and executive functioning systems, but they also had perfect pitch. Okay, well, if you have perfect pitch, you think that's a great thing, but there are challenges to people that have perfect pitch.
Correct.
So it's not all good or all bad. It's just what it is.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So I'm thinking about your question about in 40 years.
Yes, thank you.
And as I'm listening, I'm thinking, I don't know that there's anything wrong with recognizing what we call a disability. And in fact, I think we need to bring that more into how we see disabilities in typical people. And so, it's kind of been that us and them in the older research. But the us we're on a continuum. We have giftedness or we have disabilities, right? And there's some things that hold us back from doing things or push us forward, just as it is for people who were saying those that are them.
Yeah.
So an evening out of the playing field.
That would be great.
Is
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh, that would be wonderful to realize that everybody's their own individual. We're all different. And when we think about, we didn't even talk about things like trauma. We didn't talk about English language learners. We didn't talk about any other kinds of differences, cultural differences, and how those are viewed by teachers and therapists who don't really understand those cultural differences. And so I agree. Wouldn't it be fabulous I won't be here, but in 40 years, to have that kind of understanding that we're just human beings and we're all just trying to get to the end of the day.
It reminds me of that old MENC cliche jingoism of every child for music and music for every child, but actually believing it and doing it.
Correct. Oh, that's a beautiful place. Music for every child and every child for music, right? My genius friend, Dr. Zdzinski. So, thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. It was such a delight and an honor to get to spend some time with you. And I hope that I get to see you again sometime. So thank you.